at any point in time, they have a campaign running. They have a campaign running. And then you
Like
saw
with discounts to
no. I mean campaign. I mean a campaign about the fact that why people should insure their products, insure their properties, insure their businesses. And then they also have sales agents that are also doing the gospel of telling them why people should buy insurance products. But then people still don't buy it.
6 months ago, Emmanuel Paul and Yinka Wosonya, the research lead for Intel Point, were in this studio to rant about the problem we have with data in Nigeria and especially in Africa.
You're a journalist. There is what I was still writing. You reach out to brands that, hi, I am working on this thing. Give me, this is what I want, this is what I want, this one. Can you give it to me? And they either respond that yes, they are not going to give it to you, or just air you. That just goes to no response or stuff like that. And then these people come like every third market day, go on Twitter, go online and say, yes, there are no data, or that yes, journalists are not doing their job.
But you would think that after that rant, Nika will just give up and be like, after I'm done releasing this fintech, this financial industry report, I'm done. But guess what is here again today? What has he done? He has launched another report. So we are in the studio today to talk about the Nigerian insurance industry report, which we launched today. And Yinka will be here to talk about, I promise you, I will not let him rant about the problem that we have with data in Africa. But we're going to go in depth, not really in depth, because we need you to go and download that report and check it out. We'll talk about some pain points and some conversation starters that were addressed in that report. And that is what we are going through now in this conversation. Let me welcome to the studio Yinka Awosonya, the man that will not give up on data.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Thanks for joining me here today and allowing me to interview you, because I'm going to ask you a lot of questions.
That's why I'm here.
Yes. So as I mentioned, the Nigerian insurance industry report goes live today. And you would wonder that when the blood of Jesus is there, why should we be talking about insurance? People do not insure their lives. They do not insure their health. They do not insure their properties. They do not insure their assets, because it is not in our culture. But then Yinka, the research lead for Intel Point, went ahead to get some stats about what is going on in the different insurance sectors. Should we call them umbrellas in Nigeria? So Yinka, why did you decide to do this report?
Okay, so insurance in Nigeria is almost as old as banking. The first insurance company Nigeria was in 1918. That's over 100 years ago. And then if you look at the insurance penetration right now, it's really nothing to write home about. So stuff like this. And then I think in 2019 or thereabout, I did a story about how technology can help increase insurance penetration. So it's conversation like this, and then COVID happened. People lost their jobs, lost their businesses, and then NSAS with businesses being vandalized and stuff like that. And at the end of it, I'm like, okay, these businesses, their point of call would be to start calling on the government to come to their aid, or start calling on people to donate money for them to get back on their business. So it's like, okay, what they should have done is just call their insurance company if they had insured their businesses prior to that. So I was like, okay, why don't we look into this and talk to these people? I mean, people that lost their means of livelihood during the October 2020 period. Talk to them, talk to insurance companies as well as those selling insurance, and try to understand the industry from all these stakeholders' perspectives, because you're trying to paint a picture, so you can't just paint a picture from one person's angle alone. So you're looking at the businesses that are supposed to be buying the insurance, the insurance company that's supposed to be doing these things, as well as those selling the insurance. So trying to get everybody. So that was the idea, just to try and understand what's happening in this space.
Yeah, so the report is from what you now found out. I'm hoping that in that report there is the answer to why people do not want to insure.
Yes.
Right. Apart from that, what other purpose did you intend to achieve with the report?
Okay, so aside the fact of understanding the industry as a whole, so another purpose for the report is, say you have a new company. I mean, someone that wants to start an insurance company or insurtech. So you want to know which the dynamics of the industry. So picking up the report to give you an idea of what's happening. So it's not just saying that it's not just for people that are already in the industry. Whether you want to enter the industry, even regulators could see things that they need to do to promote or not promote, might not be the right word, to make sure that the industry is doing what it's supposed to be doing and the industry is growing as a whole. Because as I said, the insurance penetration is really nothing to. If we take out health insurance, the number of people with insurance in Nigeria, just allow me. The last figure that I think Efina released was about 3.1 million Nigerians. I think that was 2018 or 2019 or thereabout.
Compared to 200 million.
And then look at banking on the other end, like say over. So BVN alone is about 40 something million, and then those with bank account over 100 million. And insurance has been in the country since 1918, for crying out.
So you'd wonder what is responsible for this. We understand that sometimes Africa come late to some things that the West has embraced. You get, but this is like late than late. Why? From from the report, why are people? Is it an infrastructure problem? Is it an institution problem? Is it a culture or people problem?
So two things. I'll just give two things first. There are other pain points. So you have the cultural problem, and you also have the education problem. And when I mean education, not really education in the sense of the formal education. So first, the cultural problem. So in Nigeria, you approach someone to buy an insurance product. The first thing the person is telling you is, God forbid bad thing, or Allah will not allow such thing to happen. And then insurance is really just you guiding against protecting yourself, guiding against risk, to like, okay, if something happen, I have something to fall back on. So there is a culture of that, okay, yes, this thing can never happen to me, which is really, really big. Banking, I put my money in the bank, I go there, I withdraw it. But this one, I'm putting money down that in case something happens, say take car insurance for instance. You do comprehensive and you batch someone. The insurance fix your car and fix the person's car. If it's third party, the insurance fix the other person's car. Mm-hmm. But then the money is not going to come out of your pocket, except for cases whereby you have to contribute some certain amount. But then you are not contributing the total amount. So you're guiding against that. So that cultural problem, and then we don't see, which also boils down to my second point of, we don't see the need for insurance. So businesses don't see the need why they should buy the insurance. So some of the businesses we spoke were like, they don't really see the need to buy insurance. Like, and then there also the part that, okay, these people are being approached by insurance sales guys. And then the question is, are these sales guys giving them enough information? Yes, some say they are giving them enough information to start. But why do they start? They still don't they still see it as something they shouldn't do. Something they like it's not necessary. Crucial. Exactly. It's not necessary for the business.
So well, say we want to agree that we are a reactive generation or the reactive set of people, we react to things, we are not proactive. But something you mentioned actually like stands out for me, which is educating people, right? Somebody said that if you want to introduce something to a people that already have like a strong cultural conviction against that thing, you have to spend a lot on educating them. So maybe it's a wild opinion or a wild take to say that maybe insurance companies are not ready to actually spend a lot of money on giving these people orientation and educating them, because given the numbers of years that have been between when the insurance industry started in Nigeria and where we are at now, if they have put like consistent effort in educating people, a kind of conversion higher than what we currently have would have happened.
Okay, so I won't say the insurance company are not putting a lot of money, because there's hardly any time that you go online, you see insurance companies, you see ads from them, you see billboards from them. In fact, there used to be this very big board in just close to my hometown. In fact, it's just there's a bridge between my hometown and the neighboring town. So on that bridge, there used to be this IGI insurance board, and that's I'm talking for over 10 years ago, thereabout. That's billboard, and then there are other ones. So the insurance companies that we spoke with, the traditional insurance company that we spoke with for the report, a lot of them say that at any point in time they have a campaign running. They have a campaign running, and then you
like
saw
with discounts to
no. I mean campaign. I mean campaign about the fact that why people should insure their products, insure their properties, insure their businesses, and then they also have sales agents that are also doing the gospel of telling them why people should buy insurance products, but then people still don't buy it, which also boils down to cultural. So. There are some of these insurance companies that beyond selling insurance, they also sell some savings, and then their sales agents are like the savings feature is easier to sell than insurance itself. So it's brought to cultural, because they know that if they save at the end of the year or at the end of the quarter or at the end of the period, they get back their money. But then insurance, you're not getting it back. Which really. There's this South African company, Pineapple. So their model, at least as a 2019 that I spoke with one of the founders, is you pay premium, normal way you pay premium for an insurance for your business, and then at the end of the year, if you don't make claim, you get a certain percentage back. But then the usual insurance MO is, you do insurance, if you don't make claim, your money is low. But this ones, if you don't make claim that particular period, you get some money, not money, everything, but you get something. So imagine if I insure something and say on the premium I'm paying is 60k, and then at the end of the day you are giving me back 20 or 30k. I'm like, okay, yes, at least not all labor loss, or how do you people say it? But then, so that means I might do it next, because I know that whether what I insure against happened or not, I still get something in return.
So, well, this report is coming out at a very crucial time, where it will help decision makers to know where to focus on. You get, Nika has mentioned education and the already like the ingrained cultural belief about what it means to secure what you have as your property, or securing or ensuring your life. This report will open the eyes of decision makers on where to focus their education on, which ways can they restructure it so that they can get people to insure. Because as it were, yes, insurance companies are doing business, they want to make their own money, but then to a large extent, the customers, the people, are the ones that will benefit more if they eventually have to face that thing. I want us to quickly play a game. If you are watching this video, Inka, before I play the game, can you mention, like, can you give us like maybe 4 or 5 types of insurance that were covered in the report?
Basically, so beyond having figures over the years, we also did a breakdown of the various types of insurance that are driving the insurance industry in Nigeria. So we have the oil and gas insurance, we have the life, you have one that's miscellaneous that just take care of every other one. You have property. You have one for building. I can't remember the name now. You have a whole lot of them. So if you're building a property, you should also ensure
Sure.
that
When
the
you're done building
property.
it, you're supposed to insure it.
So yeah,
So let's say automobile.
yeah. There's also the
Automobile.
automobile and a whole of all other ones.
What about health insurance?
So health insurance is
Under
really
miscellaneous.
yeah. I believe you saw
Can
that
you
because it's
imagine?
really not listed in the
But life insurance.
Well, life insurance
Life
is
insurance.
definitely.
So let's quickly play a game. Miss, it's just a few seconds. Put your fingers up. Your hand. Yes. If you if you are if you are subscribed to at least one insurance cover, put one finger down.
Yeah, I'm suffering that one.
If an insurance agent has approached you before, put a finger down.
No, I approach them.
If you personally applied for that insurance cover, put a finger down. That means your company forced you. If you've ever had to make an insurance claim, put a finger down. And the final one, if you've experienced a loss without insurance cover, put a finger down. So yes, 2. How many fingers do you have
I
down?
have 3 down.
3 down. I only have 2 down. Other people in the studio, how many fingers?
They are not.
0. So what I'm trying to achieve with that is that it makes you to take count of your life. The property, the loss that I make without an insurance was me losing my phone.
It was also my phone.
I lost my phone without an insurance cover, which I know when I was going to buy it, I was told that, do you want to also pay for
Insurance.
if you want to insure it? And I said, oh well, no. But then it was
Less than
stolen.
10%.
It was stolen. I would have at least gotten at least an amount to help me purchase my
Yeah.
next phone.
So
I
what
had to
usually happen
purchase my
is
next phone on a loan, which I have to pay for 12 months
you pay about 30% or 35%
of the amount
of the
of
amount
that
of the phone, and they cover the rest.
So that said, would you say poverty is a contributor to people not
No.
having insurance?
So
in
I got a phone in
Nigeria?
2021. I really wanted to insure that phone, but I just like, and then they took it from me.
They took it from you. Is it at gunpoint?
They took it from me inside my room. I'm like, okay, now. So, surprisingly, I got another one, and I said I was going to insure it, and I'm yet to insure that one, which is really. But then I actually got another insurance cover aside the health that the company is and life that the company is paying for. So
You wouldn't say it's because people don't have money that they don't insure things.
yeah, I wouldn't say. I might be wrong, but I wouldn't say, because from the reports, there is really not much around the fact that I can't pay for it. Majority of the resources are I don't know how to go about it. I don't know how to start. I've never been approached, or it's not. I don't see the need to do it for my business and stuff like that. So it's really not. There's really no much. Not enough business that say they can't afford it, because to a very large extent. So we did some calculation and discovered that if your the total worth of your business is around 250k, at least say you are a very small business and it's 250k, and at the end of the day you are paying about, say, less than 5k or thereabout annually
For
insurance. So we insure that, because the insurance, I think the highest we saw is about 7 or 5% premium. I can't remember, but it's in the report. And then, so imagine, so 250k, 7%. So it's really less than 25,000 naira annum. So you paying that means if anything happens, the insurance company will come and make you whole. So it's not provide. I think it's majorly around my
Mindset,
cultural thing,
culture.
culture, and then the education. People not knowing the fact that yes, you need the reason why you need to do this.
So now we want to talk about the stakeholders, the major stakeholders in the insurance company, and which of them are like the major ones that can drive penetration.
So it's not going to be a one man job. So it has to be. So you have the regulator. So they say the Nigerian Insurance Commission,
Okay.
and then you have the traditional insurance companies themselves, and then you have the startups that are trying to ride on the traditional insurance companies to offer services to a lot of people, and then you also have the people on the other end. But then the
So
people
four
on the
stakeholders.
but then the people on the other end, theirs is not as yes, they are on the receiving end, but then these other three guys, especially the insurance company and the regulator, they need to like come on board and say, okay, yes, this is how we are to drive. They are the key players to really drive the insurance company, because there's really not much that a startup can do if you don't have a something to ride on. The fintech, I mean the banking space, you have the likes of all those new banks doing stuff because CBN made. There's a framework that say, okay, yes, with just 100 million naira, or is it 200 million naira now? You can start a new bank,
Get a license.
get a license, and start running it on your own. So if you have that with insurance, yes, there are some insurance which you do micro insurance, cassava, yes, cassava,
Carrots.
cassava, carrots, so all those ones. Yeah, it's to have more of those and do the pushing to make sure that yes, we get it across to everybody, and then and then maybe the model that cassava is running, maybe we can try that and say, okay, yes, you subscribe to an insurance. If you don't make claim in that particular year, you get
A percentage.
percentage of your premium back, or you get a percentage of your premium that will put back into the second, instead of paying full amount for the
Next
second
year.
premium of the premium for the second year. So you
Rolled over
pay.
into So the drivers are majorly
majorly traditional insurance guy and
companies.
the regulator. But then the regulator is really the key ones that should drive it, and then you have the insurance association, which kind of like the umbrella body of insurance companies in the country.
Okay, so we're moving to the end of this conversation, but there's this thing that when you've been trying something for a number of years and it's not working, you might want to look into other things. Apart from using agents by insurance company, did the report cover partnerships that insurance companies enter to drive adoption?
No, not really. So we only look at what they are doing themselves to drive these adoptions. Yeah,
And they didn't
there's
talk about partnerships.
no, there's not really much about partnerships. What they are doing, the kind of marketing they are running and stuff like that to really drive adoption, and how they are training their sales guys to make sure that yes, these guys are really selling what they're supposed to be selling and are doing the right thing and such like that. Yes, so just that, not really much on partnership.
So I mentioned that because sometimes if you're looking for people to adopt something on this very micro scale, and getting individuals to do it might be difficult. But when it gets to a point where you probably partner with a large companies, a corporation that have thousands of employees, right? And it is like a necessity for every employee in that company to have a certain insurance, you can be able to draw a large a number of people to use that insurance.
Yeah.
If you get my point.
Yes, I get your point. But in that case, so yes, there is so there are certain insurance products that are mandatory. So if you have, I think it's 15 employees, you have to have some insurance. I think life, and then though health is just, but you have to have life insurance. I mean group life insurance rather.
Mm-hmm.
So there are those. So the way that one will work is, so that won't be for individual. So yes, TechPoint has now, but then it doesn't trickle down to me. Yes, TechPoint have for me. Have that insurance, that particular insurance product, life insurance for you and I. But then it doesn't trickle down to me now having another insurance. The other insurance that I have, it's not the influence of TechPoint that made me to buy that insurance. So them going after me alone, as a single person, it might not be that much
Effective.
make economic value for them. I mean, sense for them. But then, if you are saying you do mass marketing and then you throw a wide net and you get a few that you can get, yes, they still work. So, like, there is hardly any like you are mandated to have group life insurance, so you definitely have it. So they go to you, approach it. So by law, the law makes that easy. So in 2019, I did a story, and one of the things one of the insurance people I spoke with was that certain insurance products should be made mandatory, that you have to get it. So going that route will really, so insurance, take auto insurance in Nigeria now. So if you are driving in Nigeria, you must have at least third party insurance, which is about, I think it's now 5K or thereabout. Well, if you want to push it further, you have the comprehensive one. So making that mandatory is the reason why we have a large number of people with at least a third party insurance. So now trickling, having that, spreading that to other, other coverage. So building, I think building is also mandatory. There are about like 4 or 5 that are mandatory. But then now breaking it down to smaller ones that will be mandatory for individuals. So that will go that should really go a long way in driving our penetration.
Okay, so we are looking now. One of the major stakeholders that can effect change is also the government. When they make some insurance covers mandatory, it will move to companies. Companies will make it mandatory for their employees, just like pension. As long as that company's pension compliance, it is removed from my salary every month. You get, so if it's one of those insurance covers and it is removed, you know that you have to use this, because sometimes if it is not made mandatory, people don't see a need to. Now back to the report. Who should go and get the report? And do they have to pay?
No, it's free. So
it's free. You can hear that. Intel Point is so generous.
It's completely free. And then who should get it? So players in the traditional insurance company and the even insurtech players, like, do you want to understand what's happening in the insurance industry? Product managers, product marketers, people, this is key decision makers in the insurance industry, regulators, insurance bodies, associations that wants to know what's happening in the Nigerian insurance space. Definitely
can get it. And where can they get it from?
From intelpoint.co.
Intelpoint.co. Yes, you just go there. You will see a number of reports that Intel Point has released over the years. Over the years, you see Intel Point has done a lot of work, and as they say, data is life. Water is life. Data is king. Yes, data is king. That's how they say it. So we need all this data to help us make informed decisions. So go to intelpoint.co.co and you will see a lot of reports that you do not even know you needed. So just go and what if they want to subscribe to your newsletter to get updates?
Yeah, there is also an so once you get to intelpoint.co, so there is a subscription button there that you can subscribe, and then you get a weekly newsletter with stats, figures, and all that from Intelpoint.
Yeah, great. So thank you very much for coming, Yinka. Any last words you want to say before you leave this studio?
Well, it's just for people to get the report, and then you can always reach out to us for your bespoke report or research consultancy that you like us to do with you. And
where should they send
you can send an email to hello@intelpoint.co.
hello@intelpoint.co. So yes, please send your questions, any reports, any data you want Yinka to gather for you. Don't call me. Don't call me. If I look at numbers too much, my head will start turning. But thank you very much for coming to the studio to have this conversation today, Yinka. And I hope this report will cause like a change. Like it will help in the education of people to drive insurance penetration in Nigeria.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
We are making sure that it gets to the right channel. So
Get to the right channels. Thank you very much, and thanks for joining us. See you in the
Thank
next
you.
one. Bye.